sorry, it's 9 in the morning.
You okay?
No, I'm like half...
She's still sleeping.
Hey, why can't you play poker in the jungle?
What?
There's too many cheetahs. Why you gotta take my joke like that?
We said it at the same time.
It's fucked up.
Big brains.
That's true.
How many are we doing?
How many are in my hand right now?
I don't know, that's a fuck ton.
I'll take one away.
That doesn't make it any better.
But I have to add one.
I'll take one away, but I have to add one.
Dude, you act like you don't trust him with your whole heart.
I do, but there's needles. There's like 10 needles.
Yeah, good counting. Welcome back. Back.
Okay, I'm trying. Okay, it's fine. I love how you're trying to distract me.
You're doing great.
Ow. Patting me. What is that for?
Where'd you learn that?
I can't tell, you're tapping me.
That's the point. Some of your fans that are medical profession are like, oh, he did the needles through the pants. It's gonna get cut. I only did that because I know where I'm going. For your fans.
He's a professional.
Been doing this same technique for a bit on you.
Hi guys, so sorry that the first part of this vlog was like me just like not talking. I woke up this morning around like 6 because I had to go to a physical therapy appointment prior to doing my work for the day. So I see my physical therapist once every 2 weeks / 3 weeks. It kind of depends on like how I'm feeling. You guys who have been following for a while or watching my videos or seen on Instagram, like I've mentioned it a lot over the last probably 4 years since I've had the injury, but I injured my back in like 2020 pretty badly, and I was stupid and I tried to train through it and ended up just causing this like chronic issue that just flares up every now and then. So my physical therapist is amazing, is Dr. Sakib, and I see him just for like maintenance work, and then especially if I have like a flare up, I'll work with him to try to like get my symptoms down. So one of the things that we do is dry needling, and as you can see, I'm terrified of needles. With Sakib, I feel comfortable, so he gives me like a minute, and let me tell you, like he puts those needles in and I am like profusely sweating, but it's crazy because he'll put them in and the muscle will like twitch and then just like relax, and it's kind of what I need. I feel like sometimes, especially after going for a while without doing it, I'm just like really tight, I'm really sore, and it's just been working. I did that. I was gonna sauna and cold plunge because I usually end the session like that, but I am training legs tonight. I have quads, so I didn't want to cold plunge and then try to train legs. It's just not a good idea. So I did just sit in the compression sleeves just to kind of like flush some of the inflammation out that might have come up from the dry needling and then like manual work that he did on me. One of the things that I really wanted for the new year was to stop going out for coffee every single day. We only had a Keurig in the apartment, and in the off season, I'm a latte girly through and through. And I love going to like little local coffee shops. So there's a couple around me that I like to support, but going out for coffee every single day, I was just like, I need to tone it back. I need to scale it back a little bit. I bought an espresso finally. I had on my Amazon wish list these little espresso mugs that you saw that I used. My sister got them for me for Christmas, so I was like, well, I'm sorry, Maverick just jumped up here. I was like, well, I have to get an espresso now or else these are just gonna go to waste. And girl math, if I get the Nespresso, I'm gonna be saving money because I'm not gonna be going out for coffee every single day. So I finally invested and I have no regrets. Maverick, what are you doing? You wanna say hi? Hi. Yeah, say hi. So I wanted to give you guys a little update as to what will be going on within the next couple of weeks. I am starting a cutting phase. Well, I'm supposed to be starting a cutting phase. So I started my bulk probably sometime around September, I want to say, and it went all the way through the holidays up until the end of December. So this is my last week/weekend of bulking, and the cut is starting on Sunday. This is kind of a chance for me to get some excess weight off, give my body like a little bit of a breather. My coach has changed my training plan. So you guys saw my last video, I was doing 4 leg days a week. I told you in that last video, I feel like it was only because I was in that phase where my food was really high. We wanted to utilize that to our advantage. My recovery was on point, so took away cardio, 4 leg days a week. But I told you guys, I think that when I move out of that phase, I wasn't going to be doing 4 leg days a week permanently, just because it is a lot on your body. I got my new program literally like the next day after I posted that YouTube video. The next day I got my new program to start next week. So like Monday. My cardio is added back in. So I have cardio on both rest days and training days. I have a 5-day-a-week split again, 3 lower body, 2 upper body. The entire program is superset based, which I was actually just talking to John about how I don't do supersets anymore. I don't like them. I feel like I'm just doing too much when I could just be focusing all of my energy onto like my lifts, like my each individual lift, instead of worrying about supersets. And then literally the next week I get this program from my coach and it's entirely superset based. So LOL, because I ate my words on that one. My meal plan is updated. So I have obviously less calories now as I go into this mini cut, especially on my non-training day. I think I'm down to like 1,600 calories on my non-training day. My training days, I think I'm at like 1,900, which is just under my maintenance. But all of that said, this is gonna kind of come to a little bit of a halt because, so I wanna preface and say that I have been thinking about this for a long time, and I started to take action on it last year in the summer. I actually started looking around, but I am getting a breast augmentation done in a couple of weeks. And before I start talking about it and everything, I want to preface that this is something that I want and something that I've wanted for a while. It is something that I've always thought about wanting, and it's something that I've always like considered, but I couldn't justify it because I'm very confident with how I look now. I don't mind having a smaller chest. It's something that I've actually learned to love about myself, but it is something that like if I had the opportunity to get them done, I would, because I grew up, I was like that girl in like middle school who like everyone was growing boobs, and I was like, where the fuck are mine? Like, this isn't fair. I was Googling like supplements to take to grow boobs, or like just like how to grow your, like just stupid things, obviously, as a middle schooler that like you can't do, but I was like constantly Googling, and I was always like small chested growing up, and I grew into like not minding it. I always said that like I would get one done. It's something that I think I would like. Now, one, I'm competing. So I do see myself doing this for a little while. I do love being on stage, and I do think that having this done gives a more complete look. I want to preface and say it's not necessary. If you want to compete, if you want to do a show, or you want to compete for a while, do multiple shows, try to get your pro card, I don't think it's absolutely necessary to get a breast augmentation. Like, it's not like you're not going to place well or get your pro card or anything because you don't have one. I just personally like how it kind of completes the look, in my opinion. And when I did my first show, prior to prepping, I was a B cup. And then I prepped, and then I gained the weight back, and my boobs just did not grow back. So I'm actually smaller than I was before I went into prep. Again, no problem. I'm confident with it. But I started like really considering back in 2022 when I was like prepping, I was thinking about it. So last year I started actually kind of taking action with it. I started thinking about like when my next show was going to be and wondering if like I should get it done before that or not. So I went to a couple different consultations. And the reason that I want to talk to you guys about my consultations and stuff is because I'm currently going through the process of like watching all these girls' YouTube videos and TikToks and just like experiences with their consults and their surgeries and just their whole augmentation like journey, just to get like an idea. And I don't think it should be like some secret thing. Like, obviously I'm gonna like show up looking different in a couple of weeks. I started looking around a little bit in the beginning of 2024, like looking at doctors here and there. And then one of my friends actually was getting a revision of hers, and I was asking about her surgeon because I liked his work. I ended up moving forward with the consult in the summer. Now listen, I thought that this guy was going to be like the guy I go to. I was like 99% sure, oh, I like his work with my friend, so I'm gonna like him. Paid the $200 consult fee, which some places have free consults and some places you have to pay for them, and then that money goes towards the payment of your procedure. But if you don't go with them, you end up losing the money, which kind of sucks because again, I was so confident that I was going to go with this guy that I just chalked up the $200 and I was like, yeah, here. Me personally, I did a lot of research in terms of like where the implant is placed, but nothing else. I knew nothing about augmentation. I knew nothing about profiles or I knew like silicone versus saline, but I didn't know in depth like the different types, the gummy bear. Like I was like, I will learn this all in my consult. The only thing I knew going into it was that I thought that I wanted under the muscle, because when you see girls that are stage lean and they have their boobs done, if it's over the muscle, right? If it just sits like right on top of the muscle when you get stage lean, you can see kind of like in some girls, you can see like the striations of the chest and then it kind of just looks like bubbles. I don't think it's a bad look, but I preferred when it was under the muscle because for me, it didn't look as like standoutish. All in all, when you get stage lean, you're gonna be able to tell that you have implants because it's gonna look funny. Like you're getting stage lean, you're gonna be able to see it, like it under or over the muscle. But I personally just didn't really want the bubbly look that you get when you go over the muscle. So that's the only thing I knew going into my first consult. So I walked in, I talked to them, they were like, why do you want this done? I talked to them about how I compete, and the surgeon came in. He kind of had his own way of doing things, if that makes sense. Like he walked in and was like, I will be doing this, this, and this is the look that I want on you. Didn't really give me much say in like what I wanted, and I kind of, you know, tried to like talk to him about how I wanted under the muscle, and he was like, nope, you lift. I refuse to give anyone who works out under the muscle. I don't want to disrupt the muscle. You know, he has his reasonings. I think that I just kind of wanted to talk through my options rather than go in and just be told like, this is what we're going to do. I'm still kind of deciding between if I want like a more natural look or if I want like a more fake look. And honestly, I feel like I'm kind of in the middle of what I want. I left that consultation kind of just feeling a little weird because they also showed me an AI like generated as to what they would look like, and I hated it. I was like, this just does not look good. Like, I do not want to look like that. And they were telling me it looked great. I would look great, blah, blah, blah. And I was looking at this picture and I was like, I don't like it. And the surgeon said, you should look at this and be like, yeah, like this speaks to me. This is what I want. And I'm like, it's not doing it for me. And I was still kind of in my head because I was like, well, my friend went there and hers looked great. And he's like one of the most well-renowned surgeons in the area. I've talked to a lot of people who know about him. He's done a couple of my friend's surgeries, and he's doing another girl that I know's surgery. And so it was just really hard for me to not want to go to him. So it was kind of just like shocking to me that the consult didn't go the way that I thought it was going to. It was really great, really knowledgeable surgeon, like talked through all of my concerns with me, but in the end it was like kind of not what I wanted. It was more what he wanted, which like I get it. You've been doing this for like a long time. So I ended up going to another consult, and it was a free consult, and I walked in and like immediately the girl who I was like talking to was answering all my questions like very nicely, showing her pictures. That's the other thing. I didn't go into my first consult with any inspiration pictures. Like I just was like so unprepared. I don't know what I was expecting. So I went into the second consult and the girl was kind of talking through all of my concerns, and like I told her that I thought I wanted under, but now I'm being told over, and blah, 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 blah. And she told me how she has under and she does CrossFit and she's fine. And it's really just my preference and what I want them to look like. And she kind of walked through everything. So she said, if you want a more natural look, you go under the muscle. If you want a little bit more of a faker look, you'll go over the muscle. I talked to her about my concerns with like getting stage lean and how they're going to look. She agreed, and she was like, listen, like I agree, but you are not going to be stage lean for the majority of your life. So you can't really just dictate what you want off of that, which I do agree with. I think I've been so stuck on like what I want when I'm lean and on stage, and not so much like what they're going to look like outside of this. And that's what matters most, right? We were talking a little bit. They didn't have like an AI simulator or anything. They actually had me try on the size like in a bra there with like a shirt and had me look at it. And then we kind of just like talked through the options there. And they let me decide everything from where I want it placed to the incision, obviously with their feedback, of course. Talk through the risks. I ended up leaving the office feeling very, very good about the console and like very sold on the surgeon. They ended up recommending a possible like subfascial because I told them that I didn't want that like standouty bulge bubble looking thing when I was on stage. So they brought up the subfascial approach, which I didn't even know was a thing, but apparently it's like still over the muscle. So it's not like cutting into the muscle, but it's separating the fascia from the muscle and putting it under the fascia. So you have a little bit of coverage at the top of the implant so you don't have that bubble look to you. So I was pretty sold on that. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to do that. But the more that I researched and the more that I've been like looking around, the more I think I'm leaning more towards under the muscle, even though the recovery is going to be like a little bit more difficult because again, they're cutting into the muscle, they're going under the muscle. I had all those consults over the summer, but I ended up getting with my new coach, Chris, and we were going into a bulking phase. So I'm like, you know what, like this is going to be put off. I'm not going to try to do this during a bulk. So with my bulking phase ending, I had check-ins with him right before he wrote me my new program with the cut and everything. And I was like, hey, this is something I've been looking at for a while. I put it off because we were in a bulking phase, but when would be the best time to do this? Because I don't want to do it if we're looking at like a prep anytime soon, which I don't. But also if we're trying to get some weight down before I do this, like I just want to know your timeline. And he responded and was like, honestly, if you can get it done January or February, do it. And I was like, oh shit. Like I was not expecting it to be like that soon. I was expecting him to say, oh, like April, May, that'll be good. I was like, this month? Shit. And if you know anything about me, or if you need to know anything about me, I hate the feeling of not having control over my body. So surgery scares the absolute shit out of me. Anesthesia scares the shit out of me, and not to mention with all my previous gut issues, it's nerve-wracking for me. I digress. So I ended up reaching back out to the second surgeon that I went to, and I was like, hey, what is your surgery availability? Because I'm kind of looking at getting the surgery sooner rather than later. And she texted back and said that they had a cancellation for the 16th of January. And I was like, oh. So they also had a surgery date available in the beginning of February, and then the last week of February, they had 2 dates available. We're traveling at the end of February, and you can't fly for 2 weeks after the surgery. So I wasn't able to do the last 2 dates in February, like that was out of the question. If I did the beginning of February, the date that they had, I would be 16 days away from me traveling, which would be 2 weeks, I'd be fine. But I feel like it was just cutting it a little close. And it's the day before John's birthday. So and we already have plans. So the last thing I want to do is schedule a surgery the day before his birthday. And then he just spends his birthday taking care of me and we don't even get to celebrate it. So I was like, you know what? Let's just do the 16th, because I'm also one of those people that I will just sit on this and think about it and psych myself out. So let's just do it. We're just doing it. So that being said, I now have my pre-op appointment on Wednesday next week, Wednesday the 8th. I don't know when I'm going to get this video up, so hopefully this isn't like too far. I'm kind of in that phase where I'm excited, but I'm also like deathly terrified. I have only ever had like my wisdom teeth out in high school. So I know if I would have scheduled it for February, I would have just sat here and like psyched myself out. And I'm just like, you know what? I just need to do it. Like I just need to like go for it. This is something I've wanted since I was younger, and it's something that I've been researching for a while. So all of that said, I will be getting the surgery on the 16th, and I will be out of the gym for maximum 6 weeks, I think it is. Since I was going over the muscle initially and I was doing subfascial, or I was leaning towards that way, I think the recovery time was quicker. But now that I'm leaning again towards submuscular, I think the recovery is going to be just like a little bit harder. And I just honestly don't know what to expect. But I am one of those people, I refuse to take like pain meds. I have not taken an NSAID, like an anti-inflammatory, in years, and not for any other reason other than I don't want to mess my stomach up, because it was so messed up before that I just do not want to do anything to it that's going to cause it to like, I never want to experience those gut symptoms again, ever. It was the worst thing in the entire world. I would never wish it on anybody. So anything I can do to avoid taking something, medication, antibiotics, anything, I will avoid it at all costs. Obviously that is probably going to have to change, especially if I go under the muscle and I'm in a lot of pain. I don't really know what to expect. I'm gonna go in for this pre-op on Wednesday, and they told me to bring like shirts that I want to like see the difference in. They told me to just like come prepared. I'm bringing John. I wanted to bring my friend Lex, but unfortunately she can't make it because I want to make sure that I'm getting like the right size. I don't look funny because I feel like it's just going to be different with me looking at it versus someone else looking at it. And we're going to decide from there what we do. We're going to pick the placement. We're going to pick the size. I will say that the first surgeon I went to recommended about 350 cc's for me. And then the second surgeon I went to, the one that I'm going to for my pre-op, recommended anywhere from like 350 to 400 cc's. Looking back at the pictures that I took when they like let me try everything on, I do feel like 400 was like a little bit too big. But every video that I've watched, the girls are like, my only regret is not getting them bigger. So I don't know. I'm small. I'm 5'2". Like, I don't want to be too top heavy. I also have a really short torso, so anything too big might make me actually look larger than I am. Anyway, we will figure this all out when I go to my pre-op, but I wanted to keep you guys like informed, involved, because again, I'm also looking at like all of these people's journeys and trying to like get an understanding for what this is going to entail for me, and hopefully this can be helpful to anyone who's like interested in looking. Yeah, I am excited. I'm nervous, but I just wanted to give you guys a little update. I'm gonna try my best to like stay on socials and stuff and like continue posting content. Yeah, so that is my little update. And I will make an entire new like video on my surgery and my pre-op and like my post-op and just everything like that, so that I can take you guys along with me for it. I have to be a little bit quiet because John is taking a nap. I ended up like falling asleep for like 20 minutes. I am so tired. I feel like the last 2 nights I've gotten like 5 or 6 hours of sleep just because I've had to get up early, and my body does not know how to fall asleep before midnight. I swear, like if I try to go to bed at like 10, 11, I will just lay there until like 12:30 in the morning, and then it's like I gotta get up at 5, I gotta get up at 6. So I'm a little tired, but that's a good thing because hopefully that means I'll fall asleep quicker tonight. Anyway, I'm getting ready to head over to the gym. It's about 7 o'clock, so a little bit later than I would have liked to go over, but I just had a little bit of a hard time getting awake. So I have my pre-workout meal. I'm mixing up my pre and my intra workout, so I'll show you guys what I am taking. For my intra workout, nothing has really changed here. I take glutamine, creatine, and then my intra workout supplement. I lied, I'm out of creatine, so I will not be taking my creatine today, but I have my glutamine and my intra workout. This is the Immunoject from Evogen. It's just amino acids. So it has the BCAA recovery complex in it, but it also has their performance matrix, which is L-citrulline, which is for pumps. And then they also have their electrolyte complex, which is just good for an intra workout supplement. So I'm gonna take a scoop of this. And then for my pre-workout, I have been absolutely loving this flavor. You guys know I've been kind of like rotating through the EVP 3D flavors just to see what I like the most. Up until this one, the sour candy was by far my favorite, but I think that this one is my new favorite, and now sour candy is second. This is the Tropic Thunder. It's like pineapple-y, coconut, like it's so good and it's so refreshing. And the color is like bright pink, which is interesting. Can you see how like bright pink that is? All right, guys, so this was officially the last workout of the program that I was running. If you saw my last week of workouts where I was doing 4 leg days a week, this is the same quad day that's in that video. You guys know I like to start off with my leg extensions on quad days as kind of like a warm-up and pre-exhaustion exercise. So I started with these. I did 3 sets of 8 to 10 with a 2-second eccentric, and then I rest for about 1.5 minutes in between each set. Then I moved into my main compound exercise, and if you guys know me, you know that I don't barbell back squat. So even though that was technically on my program, I just prefer a Smith machine. So I was doing 4 sets of 8 to 10 with a 3-second eccentric, and I also added in a little bit of a pause at the bottom there. Since the sole focus of this workout is quads, we want to make sure that we're using the correct form to hit them. So you'll notice that I have a more narrow stance and I'm in a more upright position when I'm squatting. I'm prioritizing knee flexion in order to bias the quad. I had about 2 to 2.5 minutes between each set. The first 3 sets, I was leaving 1 to 2 reps in the tank, and then the last set, as you can see, was straight to failure. Then we moved into everyone's favorite Bulgarian split squats. These are hard enough as it is, but my coach only gives me 60 seconds of rest in between each leg and set. So these literally felt like cardio. I had 4 sets of 10 to 12 each leg. Same kind of thing with the squats. We're focusing on knee flexion, that knee bend, so you'll notice I'm moving more straight up and down like an elevator. And same with these. The last set I'm going to complete in total failure. These literally felt like cardio to me, but we got through them, and honestly, the bright side is that they fly by by with the short rest times. And then don't judge me, I was so tired that I forgot to film my last exercise, so I'm not using the true weight in this video that I did. I used the 65-pound dumbbell to do my goblet squats, but I grabbed the 30s just to be able to demonstrate for you. So this is a quad focused goblet squat. I'm doing 3 sets of 10 to 12. I love the way my coach has me doing them, so I'm elevating my heels on the dumbbell, but also using that as like a stopping point, so I'm going down until my butt hits the top. We have 2-second eccentrics and about a minute and a half of rest in between each set, and then that ends it for the quad portion of this. So I just finished up with a couple of calf exercises and an ab exercise before doing cardio. Good morning, guys. It is currently almost 10 in the morning. I am doing aerial yoga this morning. I've never done this before. I'm trying. My friend Nicolette actually just posted on her story yesterday that she was doing it, and I was like, I want to try that. And she's like, here, sign up. So I signed up and we're going to do it together. The fact that like I have a friend who's like doing it makes it so much easier and so much better, because trying something new is scary. One of the things that I wanted to do for like 2025 is just to make sure that I step out of my comfort zone and that I try new things, new hobbies, especially in my off season. So this will be interesting. I just hope I don't like eat shit. Like I hope I don't fall off of these things. I just got home, and let me tell you, I'm so glad that I did it. I had fun. I didn't think it was going to be easy. I didn't think it was going to be painful though, and it was definitely like kind of painful because the fabric in like certain areas and different positions like would pinch you or like sit in like a very uncomfortable spot, and it was very hard on the hands because like you're constantly grabbing this thing of fabric. Don't recommend doing it, ignore this one, but don't recommend doing it with acrylics because I was like struggling. Fortunately, I was able to film. Unfortunately, I ran out of space on my card, so I didn't get to film like the entire class, and I feel like the part I did film was the first half where we were like kind of stretching and like warming up. The second half of the class was when we started doing like the tricks in the air and stuff. I was able to get that on my phone, and I actually am posting it on TikTok. I posted on my Instagram story. Also, like I was swinging back and forth so much, like I felt like I couldn't stop. I literally turned to my friend like towards the end in our last pose, and I was spinning. I couldn't stop, and I was like, I feel like a rotisserie chicken. I definitely do want to do it again. I'm hoping I can do it again next week. I won't be able to after that for a little bit. Morning. I'm sorry about this awkward angle. I don't have a big enough tripod, so here you are. I'm getting ready for my morning. I ended up sleeping in. I told you guys, I can't even remember what I said on here, but I think I told you guys the past couple nights I've only been getting like 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night, and it caught up with me. My leg workout on Friday was good, but I could definitely tell that I was really tired. My body was tired. Today is the first day of my cuts. That means on my rest days, I have fasted cardio. My coach doesn't give me like a certain amount of time for fasted cardio, but he gives me a calorie goal. So his request is that I wear like some kind of like smartwatch or like an Oura ring or something like that, like something that's going to track my calories. Anyway, if you can't tell, I am a vanilla girly, and anytime I see a vanilla scented perfume or perfume oil or lotion that smells good, I go for it. So I got this one the other week at TJ Maxx. It's Vanilla Sugar by Sand and Fog, and it's in oil. So I feel like throughout the day, my perfume wears off. I kind of bounce back and forth between the Billie Eilish perfume or the Sol de Janeiro body spray, or sometimes I'll use both, but it does wear off throughout the day, so this kind of helps it just to like stay on. Obviously, I talked to you guys about my plans in the coming week, so this cut is kind of only gonna be like a week and a half long before the surgery, but I am still going to adhere to the plan. I'm still gonna do what I gotta do for like the week and a half, see what we can accomplish, see if I can get down like even just like a couple pounds, or at least like just feel better going into the surgery, not as heavy. And also my meals are probably gonna be way smaller, considering my energy output is gonna be way smaller following surgery. I'm not gonna be even walking around as much, at least for the first couple weeks, and I'm definitely not going to be training for the first couple weeks. Might as well get used to it, right? So my cardio, I have 100 calories worth of low intensity steady state post training. So the notes of the preferred equipment are the step mill, the treadmill, the Stairmaster, and then the bike, and then the elliptical. Like that's the order that he likes. And then on my non-training days, I have actually 250 calories worth of low intensity steady state in the morning, so fasted. So I'm just gonna take like my morning supplements. It doesn't say anything about like any fat burners or anything right now, so I don't believe that I have that. And of course, me being me, I like thought I plugged in my Apple Watch last night, but I did not. So I plugged it in this morning, so I have to stall just a tiny bit more until I can go do my fasted cardio, just so I have that. In the meantime though, guys, we got our Evogen package in, so I can show you guys what I got. First thing that I got is of course a restock of my favorite pre-workout. Told you guys about this when I trained legs on Friday. This is the EVP 3D in the flavor Tropic Thunder. So freaking good. It's so good. I don't even know what to compare it to. It's not like fruit punch because it's like, I don't know, it's like tropical fruit punch. It's so freaking good. So if you're looking for a good pre-workout flavor, highly recommend. Good pre-workout in general, because I love this stuff. It gives me the best pumps. And then to go with it, I got the EVP AQ, which is the liquid glycerol. I also got this in Tropic Thunder because you're supposed to take it like before your workouts as well. So I figured I could just mix these together and it would be really good. I have kind of just taken it down the hatch before, but I've never tried this flavor. I have gotten the sour apple, which is super sour, super sour. So I took this like one time when I got to the gym, like before my warm up, I just like down the hatch and I was like, it tasted good. I like sour stuff. I just don't think I was expecting it. And this is like a very like syrupy consistency. So it's a little bit thicker. So just be prepared. But if you do want like insane pumps, I would highly recommend adding this like liquid glycerol into your pre-workout protocol, supplement protocol. Then I also got the Carnitine, which is the liquid carnitine. It's a fat burner. I got this in preparation for my cut. This is the rainbow candy flavor, and I love that it has no caffeine in it because it's something that I can take in the morning. If you guys know me, you know my gut. I do not drink caffeine in the morning first thing. I will wait until I'm hydrated and I've eaten my first meal before I have any sort of coffee or caffeine. It's just what works best for me. So you're supposed to take it 30 minutes prior to exercising or post-workout. And then lastly, I got the Evo Burn, which is the thermogenic powder in the flavor Victory Punch. This does have caffeine in it, so this is more of like a pre-workout type thing. If I want like a fat burner added to my pre-workout, very excited to try this. I've never tried this. And then of course I just had to get like a new blender bottle because I feel like I break mine every single month, so got a new one. The only other things that are my staples that I haven't gotten in this shipment are creatine and glutamine. I go through glutamine like water. Like I have glutamine in my morning drink. I have it in my intra workout. I'm using so much glutamine every single day. And of course creatine, we want to make sure that we're getting in our creatine each day. I just got back from grocery shopping. I was going to try to film in the grocery store, but I think my anxiety got the better of me and it was super crowded at 9 o'clock at night. I did not want to pull out the camera and start talking to you guys walking through Wegmans, but I want to show you guys what I got. It's my little mini grocery haul. First and foremost, I haven't had these in forever. These are like the Coke Zero Oreo flavors. It was really good when it first came out, but I haven't had it since it came out, and they have these like mini cans, which is good because I feel like a lot of times I'll open a can of soda and then drink a couple sips and leave it there and then end up throwing it out because it gets flat. Of course, I got eggs. I don't like eggs, so I wanted to get like one of the smaller cartons of eggs, but they did not have any. This is all they had. I'm gonna try it. I'm trying to get back into it. I'm trying to get back into eggs. I'm trying to like them. I never have, but I'm gonna force it, okay? And of course, they didn't have regular sweet potatoes. That's the only bad thing about going to the grocery store at 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday, is that they're sold out of everything. Shocker. They didn't have regular sweet potatoes, so I got purple sweet potatoes. I've never had purple sweet potatoes, so we're gonna try them out. I also got some pre-cut peppers and onions because I'm too lazy to get them myself and cut them myself. Got cherry tomatoes and then some gluten-free oatmeal and aloe vera juice for my morning drinks. And then the rest is just protein, which cost a majority of what I spent. So of course we got chicken breast. I just always get like the family pack of chicken. I also got ground bison. I wanted to try this instead of ground beef that's on my meal plan. So I haven't had bison in forever. So I'm really excited about it. I'm supposed to have steak in the morning. So I got a couple things of steak. By a couple, I mean I got 6 steaks, which ran up my bill. And then lastly, like I said, I wanted to switch it up. So for tomorrow morning breakfast, instead of doing my typical steak and almonds, I'm actually gonna try like a little breakfast scramble. I don't get carbs with my first meal, so that's the only hard part, is like not adding like potatoes or something to this to make it more like voluminous and breakfasty. But I am gonna try to do a breakfast scramble with this sausage. It's just the mild Italian sausage with chicken and turkey, and then 2 eggs, and then I'm gonna try to add the peppers, onions, and some cherry tomatoes and just make like a little scramble, switch it up a little bit. I need a break from the steak and almonds. All in all, this came out to about $140, $150. But yeah, guys, I'm going to put this all away and then make my last meal of the night and just get ready for bed. It is like 10 o'clock. I am tired. I put out grocery shopping way too late, so I just got to get this stuff put away. I hope you enjoyed this little weekend in my life video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss another video, especially the one coming up. I don't know if it's going to be the next one or the one after, but I will be taking you guys through, like I talked about, my entire breast augmentation process. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that if you're interested. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. As always, I will leave the handle right here. I'll also leave my Lemonade link down below so that you can check that out as well. I love you guys so much, and I will see you super soon. Bye.